grate me in the mouth. Yes.
69, dude. I absolutely love
You have failed this
night ever.
Hey. What is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, two-time podcast host, connoisseur of fair food, and yes, my birthday is my favorite holiday.
Huh?
You never heard people say that? Their birthday is their favorite holiday?
No, I've never heard anybody say that.
Well, my birthday is a holiday, Colton.
What, because it's my half birthday?
Yeah, exactly. we share a mid-year, end-of-year birthday, which is kind of wild. They're exactly not. It's like 5 months and 30 days apart or something like that, because
like
December has 31.
It is, but it's not.
Yeah. Well, still cool.
Yeah, I agree.
You're right at the end of the year.
From a monthly basis, we're half.
We're half.
We're half. Two halves to make one whole is what we are.
Yes, that is so true. I always thought my birthday was actually like the midpoint of the year, like the exact middle of the year, but I don't think it is. Or maybe it is.
I have no idea.
Either.
I mean, there's usually 365 days in a year, so.
Yeah, but if you do it by months, there's only 12 months, so that means the exact middle would be the 30th of June at midnight, right?
We'll go with that.
Okay, then we'll see. Midway. I'm a halfway.
That's right.
Baby.
That's right.
That's right. Yes. So, do you like fair food? Are you like super into like fried, greasy elephant ears, steak tips, ice cream?
So I'll say this. I call myself a carny. I worked a summer as a guy who worked on a grill for a barbecue place.
Really?
Holy Smokes Barbecue. Yep, I did that for a summer. The owner worked with my dad for a really long time, and he needed some help starting out, and I had nothing else going on, so I worked a couple fairs and got introduced to a lot of interesting things, saw a bunch of weird stuff. I probably, could spend a whole podcast on the carny life.
Episode 25, Colton talks about the carny life.
You meet a lot of interesting characters, so to speak. Lots of fun though. Rolling out the ums tonight. So
you caught yourself.
I know I did,
good.
but we had a lot of fun. Mostly hot days because the trailer had no AC and it was just hot.
Yeah.
I was grilling, so learned kind of how to grill that way too. So lots of pros and cons. Got to see two carnies go at it. That was an interesting morning. So yeah.
I didn't know that.
I do like fair food. I just don't think my bowels like fair food.
Yeah.
That's the only problem.
100%. Yeah. Just all the grease and all the crap in fair food just does not sit well all the time.
And I don't like to go to the fair. I cannot stand going to the fair.
So you don't do like blueberry?
Nope. Oh gosh, no blueberry. I go west. Nope. I have no desire. I have no desire to go to the blueberry. I've done it. It's not fun. There's way too many people. Was at the Apple Festival in Napanee.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I don't think the Apple Festival is that busy.
I just don't like. There's too many people.
Yeah.
There's too many people, and just too many. I can't do it. I just don't like that many people in one area. So, but if I could get that fair food, like on a Friday night food truck type thing, I would be down for that, but
That
just
makes complete
it's
sense.
hard to find those kinds of things. But yeah, good elephant ear goes a long way.
So I've got another question.
Hit me with it.
It has to do with the intro, of course.
Oh,
what is your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday?
If it's not your birthday, then what is it?
Oh man, favorite holiday. You know, I mean, I would say now I like to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Doing the Ireland trip, really getting to know my roots.
The roots.
The homeland. I like to do that because now we actually get together with a group of like eight or 10 people, and we all bring an Irish dish, drink probably a couple too many Guinnesses and
Nothing wrong with that.
Jamesons. It's a good time. It's a really good time, and then they get out. One of the guys is a really good singer, and he sings a lot of Irish folk songs, and the Whopper man breaks out the guitar and he starts playing. It's a real good time. It's a real fun time. So
the Whopper
I would say St. Patrick's Day now, but probably growing up, I'd probably just go with Christmas because it was really, really close to my birthday. We were out of school, and
so was that one of those things when you were younger, your birthday was so close to Christmas that it was kind of disappointing to have your birthday then?
No, I wouldn't say that. Because I would always be told to make a quote unquote big list.
Gotcha.
And whatever I didn't get for Christmas, I usually got a couple of those things for my birthday. So it wasn't like the end of the world if I didn't get quote unquote my whole Christmas list. I never expected that. But pretty much after I turned 21, I guess you could say my favorite holiday became New Year's because my birthday is the 30th.
Yeah.
And then New Year's Eve is the 31st. So it'd be like back to back, like benders.
Party.
It was some rough back to backers, but those are some fun times.
Yeah. I bet.
What about what's yours? Is it really your birthday?
No, probably not. I just like to say that just because like once again, so your birthday falls on a holiday weekend. My birthday falls on a holiday weekend. Like I always like it's right in that time of the 4th of July, and like if it falls on like a Friday, then the 4th usually falls like that next Tuesday. Yeah. So we usually have that Monday off. So I usually get a long weekend. And most of the time around my birthday, I do get that long weekend. So it's always nice to have it then, I guess, unless it's on a Monday. But then I get to look forward to a long weekend coming up. But I wouldn't say my birthday. I would probably say Thanksgiving.
Ooh, I mean, that's a solid one. Solid.
Just because it's just that, well, not really anymore. We don't really get together with the family as much as we used to, but it used to be that, everybody gets together, you have a big meal, family you haven't seen since Christmas, and you just hang out. But now it's more just, the main family and getting together and hanging out. But
yeah,
I've always enjoyed Thanksgiving. It's always good food, football, people,
football.
And I've always loved the Macy's parade. I could just watch it. I don't know why. I've always just tradition, I guess.
Okay, so in high school, we always had our first basketball game of the season right after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So we always had a Thursday morning practice from it was usually like a 9 to 10:30 type of deal, not super early in the morning, but yet not late enough in the day where it screws up, eating and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
For my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I never went to that practice because it was quote unquote optional.
Okay.
All right. And I always told the coach that I had family Thanksgiving. And he said, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You're excused. Like, don't worry about it. But really, I just did not want to go to practice.
The jig's up.
Yeah. I don't think too many people know this, but a lot of people who maybe listen to this do know this next part. So my senior year, something my mom finally finds out, because I think I told my mom like for the first 3 years that we didn't have practice on that day. So she somehow finds out that we have practice on Thanksgiving, and she says, "Oh yeah, yeah, you can go to practice." And I'm like, I really don't want to go to practice. She's like, "No, you're going to practice." And I'm like, "Great, just perfect. Thanks, mom."
Yeah.
So, and so I go to this practice, and there's a lot. I mean, most of the team, I think all but like one or two guys weren't there. So everyone's there, and we start out this practice, and it's bad. And I mean bad. Like, we're not focused. Everyone's tired. Nobody wants to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing these full court rush drills, which is 5-on-4 transition with 5-on-5 back, offense and defense type of stuff. And I had a guy throw a ball like 6 feet over my head, like overthrew me, which is, that pass is dang near above the backboard at the point.
Yeah.
Well, I get that ball, and I kick that ball against the wall. Coach stops practice. We run because of me. Okay, set the tone. Thanks, coach. That's cool. So we do a couple down and backs, and we get back into it, and the practice is not going any better. And coach is like, "I really don't want to run you guys, but we're getting ready to do a lot of running." So we practiced for a little bit longer, and I had a bit of a mouth on me, and
Not surprising.
I know it was worse, man. It was worse in basketball. I was very critical of my teammates and myself. So I held everybody to the same standard, and just not a whole lot of folks like to be held to my standard, which is very high.
Yeah.
So I left. I might have allowed a curse word to slip, and we had to run again because of that. So we do a couple down and backs, and so now we're shooting free throws. And every once in a while, coach would yell, "Hey, pressure's on Gunner." So that meant that Gunner, everyone stops shooting, and Gunner, you shoot a free throw, and if you make it, we all clap and cheer. Thanks, Gunner, for making that. But if you miss, we get on the line and we run. Okay, so we get up there and we do some pressure free throws. I think I hit mine, I either missed one or I made the first one. And he goes around and he goes to another guy and he misses. I'm like, okay, yeah. We run, picks him again. He misses again. Okay. I'm like, okay, we're okay. He's like, well, we're gonna run again. So he picks him again, misses, and I just say, come on, man, it's a free throw. Next thing I know, ball from down at the other end of the court is thrown at me from the other end. We start going at it with words, and bam, we just start take off. We're running now with like no purpose other than just to run. I think this is an hour and a half practice. I swear we spent almost an hour of that time running because we were just
because Colton's got a mouth and it was Thanksgiving and he was frustrated.
Yeah, so we ended up spending the last 30 minutes shooting free throws and then doing individual team meetings with the coaches.
Dang.
It was rough. Like,
that makes for a crappy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, let's just say, I called it, I think it's known as the Thanksgiving Day Massacre because we got absolutely nothing done. We got ran to death. Like, we could have ate 3 turkeys that day and still have been below the calorie intake.
Yeah.
But we turn around the next day and we win like 96 to 50 something.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, except for I ruined my Thanksgiving. So yeah, that's my Thanksgiving story.
Nice.
Thanksgiving Day story.
Yeah. Well, I guess that would be my favorite holiday. Not because I had basketball practice, but we have new traditions as of like 2 years ago where we go down to Sarah's mom's and we go hit the Indiana State Museum and go to the tea room that's in that building. And yeah, it's just been a tradition. And we go see Christmas lights usually. But so yeah, Thanksgiving. I just thought it was
so then, sidebar on Thanksgiving. Are you a person who puts your Christmas tree up right after Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving, or whenever you get to it after Thanksgiving?
After we get home from Thanksgiving dinner, we put the tree up,
Nice.
and it's up until New Year's Day.
Yeah, because the anarchy that's going on right now,
dude, I still see
in
Christmas
stores.
Lights. I still see Christmas lights up out driving.
I don't get it. I don't know if those people. I mean, I'm assuming those people are just lazy, which that's cool and all, but come on.
Not
Come
ripping
on.
on you if you have your Christmas lights up, but man, it's June. Come on. I understand the laziness of not wanting to take them down because it is work.
Oh yeah.
But it's like 2 hours of work.
I have to climb out of a window to get my top gutter.
But you do it.
You're right, and I can't wait till my kid's old enough to do it.
Hey William, go pull the Christmas lights off the gutters.
When he's tall enough, I'm getting a rope and I'm tying it on him, and he's going out the window because I'm tired of going out this
Christmas
window.
with the crank style, where the rope tied, and he's just hanging there from the. Yeah. Well, yeah. So I mean, I like having questions that kind of stem off of whatever my intro is, but those kind of went a little longer than expected, but that's okay.
Well,
that's a great story about you screwing everybody over during Thanksgiving basketball practice.
Dude, I'm telling you, people had to have hated me that day.
Oh, I'm sure they're like, next time Colton misses a free throw, we're just gonna start.
Oh man, I didn't care. I'd have fought every single one of those dudes. I would have lost. I probably would have lost to a couple, but I would have took a couple with me.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta be a fighter.
Oh, okay. Mr. Sportsman.
Are you ready for the question of the pod?
I am ready for the question of the pod, sir.
This is like the 6th question of the pod today already.
Hey man, that's what makes us us, okay?
Yeah.
We have no timetable, no timeline. We've got no direction other than just forward.
We're here to have fun.
That's right.
Here to party. Okay, maybe not party, but we're here to have fun.
Hi, my name's Colton, and I like to party.
Oh. All right. So, the question of the podcast: if you were forced up.
What?
if you were forced to give up one of your favorite things, whether that be food, a TV show, watching sports, or alcohol, what would it be, and how much would you miss it?
Oh my. Oh, give up. One of my favorite things?
Yeah, something that you have every day that you were forced to give up.
I think that something that I would really, really struggle with giving up would be cutting out sports. And that's not necessarily playing them, because trust me, I do not
Don't play anymore.
I play as little as possible. I play slow pitch softball, and I try to hit homers because I don't want to run.
Yep.
So I would say watching sports. Sports is such an easy topic. It's easy, quote unquote, water cooler talk. I played them. I excelled in them. I enjoy watching others excel in those. So I wouldn't know. I felt like I wouldn't have too much to look forward to, but I think it would be for the best, because I'm telling you, I'm one of those people that when my team loses, it affects my emotional state.
Yeah.
And I hate that about sports. And because I'm not out there playing. I can't change anything.
Yeah.
And I just wish it didn't affect me as much as I allow it to affect me. So as much as it would, because I'm telling you, I would be super, super sad to not be able to watch sports. But if I did, I think it would probably be the best thing for my heart.
Yeah.
What about you?
I when I came up with this question, I was trying to think of like one of each thing that like I could say sweets. Like I eat a lot of junk, right? And definitely I didn't used to, but something has happened to me over the last couple of years where it's just like I want to drink pop and I want to eat candy, but then I was like, that doesn't really like hit the same as like if you were to say sport, like watching sports, because I know that's something you do a lot. So I think about it more and more, and even video games at this point, I don't really play.
Same.
There's so really the only thing I can think of is watching movies.
Man,
Yeah.
that'd
And
be rough.
that like one of those things, if I was forced to stop having to like watching movies ever again, I don't know if I could actually do it, and I would miss it way too much because like I don't know, if I'm bored, I turn on a movie or a TV show. That's what I do. And
Yeah.
even if it's a movie I've seen 100 times. So, and going to the theaters, it's something that you and I do a lot. And heck, I even did it this past weekend. Like, it's just, yeah, watching movies. If I was forced to do that, it would be one of those things that I think I would just, I don't know if I could stop watching movies, but that's why we're here.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of that, I did go see Top Gun Maverick this past weekend.
Nice.
And I'm not going to say it was better than the original,
Ooh, interesting.
but man, it gave it a run for its money. It
That's good.
was a great movie. Cinematography, acting, just the overall story and the plot, and everything was great. There were some things that were exaggerated, obviously, but
No,
it's an
not in a movie.
action drama, whatever you want to call it, but very good. Go see it. If you can tell, if you're watching the YouTube, I did shave my beard. That's because I tried to do the old rooster slash goose mustache and it didn't work out for me very well. So yes, go see it. And one of the things this weekend going to the movie theater, I had goosebumps before I even got in the theater. There was a line out the door and all the way down to the side of North Point.
No way.
And you
To go
go
see
in
this movie?
to go see Jurassic World, which came out on
Oh,
Thursday. So this line literally stretched out to the edge of the sidewalk next to the parking lot. And then inside, and there were just people jammed inside. So it was one of those things.
that's
I haven't seen that in years. And I was excited. And then we got in our theater and it was jam packed too. So,
that's
I
awesome.
mean, yeah, thank you to everybody that made the theaters packed this past weekend. And I hope all theaters were like that. I'm sure not every one of them was, but North Point's a small theater. And
Yeah, how many what do they got? 8 there? 8
yeah,
screens?
yep. Or on each wing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So yeah, it was cool. And we did when we got our tickets for Top Gun, we looked and Jurassic World 3D was sold out. And I'm sure that the other ones were already sold out by the time we got there. So
Yeah, I think the last movie I saw there was Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
Oh, no, 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 not Judge Dredd, Dredd.
Just
The
Dredd. Yeah.
remake of
Yeah.
Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I laughed through most of it.
Did you have it muted?
I am the law.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so
Not
bad.
not my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, the original is way better than the remake.
Yeah, yeah. Um so
That's
yeah.
good. That's good to see that the movie scene is starting to come back. I hope that it's here to stay because I do miss that kind of about living in Bourbon because you had to go to the movie theater early on opening weekend to go make sure you got a good seat for
Yeah.
whatever movie you wanted. Now, I mean, I live hop, skip, and a jump from an assigned seated movie theater, and I just get my tickets online and I show up when I want to show up.
Well, and if you get your tickets, you get your tickets early enough, you're getting the best seat in the house, and you don't have to worry about somebody being in it. Yeah, and I think that was always like the thing about movies is you try to get there early enough to where you can get in and get a good seat. And I it's funny because we walk into this theater, and I didn't walk in first, so I went with Sydney, Lucas, and Sarah.
Okay,
And
thanks for the invite.
yeah, you were busy. I'm pretty sure. I think we probably talked about this. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I just told you I was going with him. I don't remember. So okay, but we walk into the theater, and Sydney points to these seats.
Okay.
So the walkway in, the first row up.
Okay.
She wanted the railing so she could put her feet up, which is okay. But she looks at me and goes, "Are these good seats?" And I just went, "No,
no, no." I could have answered that.
Yeah, I'm like, I understand the comfortability, especially since they don't have the reclining seats and all that stuff. But like, no, that's all I had to say. No. And I just laughed. I was like, no, it's seriously fine. Because if it was a Marvel movie, I would have fought for that up middle, middle.
Yeah.
Or even one row above or below.
I don't blame you.
So
I mean, that's what we try to do when we go see the movies.
Yeah, that is usually the best seat in the house, and if you can get it, then take it. Now, never sit up in those front seats unless you just want to be like this.
I've only done that. I've done that for one movie, and when it was at Warsaw, and it was Planet of the Apes, like the 2000 version.
Yeah,
I think was that the one Mark Wahlberg was in?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to Google.
Dude, I don't know. So while we're on the topic of talking about movies and it's kind of our main subject, I guess, for any episode.
I was gonna say, like, unless for today or just the call guys.
Just the call guys between movies, music, TV shows, sports. I'd say movies are number one, and
I think we would go like movies, TV show, music / sports.
Yeah, I agree. So today, Colton and I are going to talk about cartoon to live action adaptations. We're going to go through some of our favorites or some that we liked. Then we're going to go through some that we absolutely hated. Throw some honorable mentions in there for the ones we liked. And then we're going to do one movie or one cartoon that we wish would have been made into a live action. And I think that one we're going to have completely different answers on.
I think so too.
Because mine's kind of out there.
Oh, man. I thought mine was out there.
Okay, we're both out there. What if it's the same?
Oh, gosh.
So let's do 3, 2, 1. Okay. Or just pick. I know you said you had a Mondo
I've got
list.
A plethora of movies for both. So I'm just going to kind of wing it.
Do you want to start with honorable mentions? Do you have honorable mentions?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go. The only one I think I could probably go off of is maybe number 3 and go from there.
Okay.
And figure it out, so that way it kind of pushes me to I gotta pick a 1 and a 2, and then the rest are just there.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't have a number 3, and I couldn't think of a number 3. So my number 3 is gonna be my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have a couple that I know I like, but I couldn't pick between them.
Okay, well then you go. How about you start us off then? You start
off with my honorable mention.
Start off with your honorable mention. And then I'll do my honorable mentions before I announce the number 1.
Okay, that works. So my first honorable mention is the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I remember watching the cartoon as a kid and seeing Master Splinter and all of those turtles, doing kung fu and karate and fighting and using their weapons and all that stuff. Going back and watching the movie the adaptation from the cartoon and seeing, you know, it's one of those things that's funny because it's so cheesy.
Oh, it's super cheesy.
But I was a huge Casey Jones fan. Like I love Casey Jones. I just like always thought he was the cool hockey player guy wearing the hockey mask and all that. And so yeah, TMNT honorable mention. My second honorable mention, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's a great one.
And yeah, see, I just like I don't know which one to pick for 3 because they're just good movies. And I watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas every year at least once.
Oh yeah, and that's part of our Christmas rotation.
Yeah, and I think Jim Carrey did a tremendous job in that movie. And I love Dr. Seuss and the rhymey-wimey stuff and all that good stuff. But so How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and then this one is pretty much a brand new movie. And it stems back to when we talked about TV shows with the Emperor in episode 10, is that I watched a lot of Tom and Jerry when I was a kid. Okay. And they put out the live action Tom and Jerry in 2021. And it was just one of those like nostalgia blast from the past kind of things. But it was still a pretty good movie. It had a good story. You know, Tom and Jerry in a hotel causing mischief and, you know, saving the day in the end. And the animation was great that was in it. So it's one of those that's a mixture. It's kind of like that Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where it's a mixture of animation and live action together. Because how do you have a cat and mouse?
You don't.
unless you literally have a cat and mouse. But so yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
Solid. Well, I might be able to help you out with your number 3 here.
Okay.
Because my number 3 is the 1990s TMNT.
Yeah, right on.
I love those movies, and I know they are cheesy as all can be. No pun intended with the pizza reference. I love them. I love the costumes for the time.
Yep.
It's just I go back and I watch it, and I'm not laughing. It's not like I'm laughing at it. I'm laughing with it.
Yeah. 100%.
So I spent a lot of time as a child with some family friends who would babysit, and they would always play these movies. They had these 3 movies, and they would always play these movies when I would come over, and that would be like my quote unquote quiet time activity. Like when I'd come in, eat lunch, and I would try to take a nap, I would watch these movies. And I absolutely love these movies.
Me too.
My favorite color is red, so you know which turtle I gotta pick. Raphael. And
okay, so I was really big into art in high school.
Okay.
And I was my senior year, I had 3 different classes where I was in that room. So I had my yearbook class. I had myself. It was like a first period. Me and 2 other kids were in the room, and we did our own art class together. And then I had my study hall, which I went and I just spent time with the art teacher at the time. And
nerd.
And dude, it was. I don't know if my love for Ninja Turtles stems from my love for art. My grandma was an art teacher. I was in art all through elementary, middle school, high school. So knowing that the turtles are named after artists and people from the past that, created things. I think that's also gives my love for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend they have 4 siblings, and they were all going to get a TMNT tat. But one of the brothers went ahead and got all 4 tatted on his arm or his calf or something like that.
Oh.
So he really ruined a really, really cool
that's a great
family tattoo. So
I think me and my brother and sister.
I thought that'd be awesome, but
I think
didn't get the opportunity.
Me, my brother, and my sister should do the Powerpuff Girls. Just kidding.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Well, Sarah and her sisters and her mom actually have Chemical X tattooed on their ankles. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. Okay.
So yeah,
Fun
my number 3 is the 90s TMNT. And I honestly, I don't want any remakes. This is like one of
Oh,
the fews
did you see
that,
the remake?
oh yeah, I hated it.
Oh, terrible.
Yes. Yes, and that I think the reason why it was terrible is because it was like the 90s version was more real than this
Yeah.
newer version. And I want them to stay away from it. Make it into a cartoon all you want. That's
Yeah.
fine, but just stop touching the greatness that was the 90s TMNT.
Completely agree.
So what yeah?
I might come back to that here in a little bit.
Ooh, interesting.
My number 2. My number 2 always makes me cry. No, I was kidding.
That's what I was gonna say.
Anytime we list,
what's your number 2 make you feel?
my number 2 does not make me cry at this point, but it is a great adaptation, and it is the 2017 Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson, Luke Evans, Josh Gad, Ewan McGregor, Emma Thompson, and Ian McKellen as pretty much your main cast if you really look at it all
Bangers.
around. Great movie. It's about as close as you can even get to the actual cartoon. And I mean, there are some changes. And the other thing is it's a good musical. And I know
It's a great musical.
We were just talking about this, but
yeah, I love the it's just good. It's great. It may or may not be on my list.
Oh my gosh, if we just made the same list, I might crap my pants. No, I really do. I do love it. It's that star-studded cast. It tells a great story. It's very, very similar to the actual cartoon, and there are some that Disney has done that have been just complete trash, and I'm sure we're going to talk about some of those here in a little bit too. But yeah,
we are.
And I love Emma Watson. I mean, you can't not love Emma Watson. Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Hermione Granger?
I mean, yeah, that's the only person I see. Yeah, she's not bad. She's not a bad singer.
No, she's great.
And I like the guy who played the Beast.
Yeah, I didn't pull his name just because it's one of those that's just like not.
He voices. Who does he voice? He voices somebody in a Frozen movie, and he was in Hamilton.
Okay.
He was a dude in. I think he played the king in Hamilton.
Gotcha. Well, and
but anywho, so
Josh Gad, Josh Gad, also in Frozen
Great.
as Olaf.
Yeah.
Perfect LeFou.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Perfect.
The only other better LeFou performance I've ever seen was my sister. She played LeFou in high school for Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
And did a fantastic job. So Josh Gad, you got to run for your money on LeFou. But still, yes. Sorry.
I'm sure. I've interrupted you. I'm sure his bankroll is a bit bigger than your sister's right now.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. I've interrupted you like 15 times just in that one conversation. So I'm gonna shut up.
Fine.
And you're gonna tell me about how your number 2 makes you cry.
My number 2 does not make me cry. I feel like that's got to be said every time.
Yes.
My number 2 does not make me cry.
Yes.
But it does make me laugh.
Okay.
I found out, and I didn't know this, maybe it's because I got on this movie at such a young age, and to me it's just kind of a family movie that we just always watched.
Mm-hmm.
And we love it, and I know it's not great, but I didn't know a lot of people don't like it, but I love it. And that's the Flintstones.
Oh. All right.
Oh no.
No, okay, so I have not watched it in years, but it's one of those things like you look at it and it's like, oh man. I need to go back and watch it.
You do, because I think the thing that I liked, it's one of the first movies that I realized that they were making jokes that I was laughing at, and I don't know why I was laughing at it, but I knew I was laughing because my parents were laughing.
Oh, and they were dirty jokes, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I mean I was a little kid, I don't know, but it was funny to them, so it must be funny to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Um
It was
and
like when
yes.
there were boobies on the TV, and my dad made me cover my eyes, but I was always like, oh,
I got that with curse words.
oh, okay. Like, close your ears.
Yep,
Cover your ears.
put your earphones on.
Yeah.
Earmuffs.
Yeah.
Earmuffs.
Yep. Yep.
Um it did have Halle Berry though.
Halle Berry.
I'm telling you, that is a crush from since then. Halle Berry, Halle Berry.
Hey,
I
I'm
love me
not
some Halle Berry.
I'm not gonna tell you no.
Yeah, John Goodman and Rick Moranis, they were
Yeah.
great.
Did Rick Moranis play Barney?
Yeah, he was Barney.
Nice.
I didn't it took me a real long time to recognize it other than the credits because he's not wearing glasses.
Mm,
I always think of him as like Honey I Shrunk the Kids
yeah. Or
role.
Little Giants.
Yeah, Little
or,
Giants. The glasses it threw me for a loop for the longest time, and I was like, "That's Rick Moranis."
one of the
What?
best Rick Moranis movies out there. Spaceballs.
Oh, it probably is.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
So yeah, that's my number two.
It's good.
Do you want me to rattle off my honorable mentions?
Yeah,
now?
yeah. Give your
Okay.
honorable mentions.
Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
I love the songs, the music. I thought they did a really good job. I think it's one of Disney's best ones that they've done. I also put, and this was tough for me. I've got Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Most unique movie that I saw ever growing up, probably because it was live action, but yet cartoon.
Same concept as Tom and Jerry. I think I actually mentioned that before too. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. I really like that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great, but it's more. When I watched it when I was older, it was funnier and I understood
adult
the jokes.
humor. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, loaded with it.
Yeah.
I've got Christopher Robin.
Oh,
on my list as well.
I asked Sarah before I walked in, "What's your favorite cartoon to live action?" And she was like thinking about it. She's like, "Oh, I really like Christopher Robin." It is a very good movie. Ewan McGregor once again.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's adorable. It makes me want to be able to go back to my youth and just have those dreams again.
Yeah.
I thought it did a really good job, and Pooh Bear is just amazing.
Oh yeah,
I thought they did a really good job with it.
Does William have a Pooh Bear?
No, he does not.
Oh,
he does not. He's got this blue stuff elephant that he'll just grab and he'll cuddle and he'll put his head down. And the next thing you know, he's taking it and he's like shaking it. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What are you doing, kid?
That's too good.
So I try to get a cute picture every time. And then I always get the aftermath of the elephant with like its head flopping back like, why me?
Yeah.
I also have a Space Jam.
Okay. Or the original, I hope.
The original, not that
junk.
Not that new junk. Team MJ for life.
Mm-hmm.
And I also I have Transformers, the first three, the Shia LaBeouf Transformers.
Yeah.
I really, really like that storyline. I thought him and Megan, I wish Megan Fox would have been there for the third.
Yeah.
Obviously that didn't work out. But I think for the most part, I really, really liked those first three.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the cartoon growing up?
Transformers, robots in disguise.
Yeah. So we did watch it, but not as religiously as some of the other shows that we watched. I thought about Transformers a little bit, but I didn't feel like I was as into it as a kid as I was into the live action movies. So I didn't want to throw it in there.
I was into the what was the animal Transformers one?
I don't know. Logan.
I can't think what?
Logan.
Yeah,
Logan,
I'm
if
sure.
you're out there, send a message in the group
Yelling
chat.
at your yelling at your radio. Please
Yes.
just send it in the group chat.
Yes, please.
So yeah, those are all my honorable mentions.
Okay.
What, Gunner? What is your number one?
Nope. Here's what we're gonna do.
Oh my!
Now
Changing it up.
Here's a disclaimer.
Oh,
Colton and I don't know what each other's number one is.
oh gosh!
We don't know what. We haven't talked about this. We've not discussed what these are. So
Dude,
we're gonna count down from 3, and we're gonna say our number one, and it's gonna be the same movie. Are you ready?
No. Okay, so are we saying it on 1 or after 1? Like we're going 3, 2, 1 movie or 3, 2 movie?
3, 2, 1 movie.
Okay, 3, 2, 1 movie. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Count us down, brother.
3, 2, 1. Scooby-Doo.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yes. Totally agree.
Yeah. I was thinking, I was listening to your honorable mentions, and I'm like, oh man.
You didn't hear it.
I'm like, it's Scooby-Doo. And it is Scooby-Doo. And I almost kind of figured it might be yours too, because of the discussion we had during the episode 10 discussion with my dad on how you used to watch Scooby-Doo and you had Scooby-Doo pajamas and all that. Well, my mom was a huge Scooby-Doo fan. My aunt was a big Scooby-Doo fan.
That's awesome.
Therefore, I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan.
Yeah, that's right.
And the 2002 Scooby-Doo with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar and Linda Cardellini, who is Hawkeye's wife.
That's right.
And Matthew Lillard.
Yes. Oh, man, he is great.
Oh, such a good Shaggy. Such a good Shaggy. Yeah. Man, those actors and actresses played those characters so well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just love even the second one, both of them. I have them both on here because I love them both. Like I don't have any complaints with them because it's one of those things that, and especially in the second one, they brought back all the ghouls from all of the shows and like
the originals. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo, and Sarah and I actually just rewatched What's New Scooby-Doo.
Ooh,
which is one of my favorite adaptations of the cartoon. But yeah, even Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Yeah, we're watching Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? I've got William watching it, and he's into it for a little bit, and then he watches it.
Yeah,
but he is he will like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I hope so, because my kids will like Scooby-Doo too. And so my favorite thing about the first one is the twist at the end with Montevarious being Scrappy, and I do really like the whole paranormal thing about it too, where it's like a machine taking the souls and all that. And there's some scenes in that movie where the farting scene where they're in the control room.
Oh,
and they're farting, and Daphne walks in. Oh yeah, so good.
Oh my.
But
yeah, no, I mean, that was Scooby-Doo was my favorite cartoon growing up. I remember going to see it in theaters. I'm pretty sure it was I think it was just me and my mom who went and saw it. I watched that movie. I couldn't tell you how many times when it came out. It's like that felt like a lot of my childhood was that movie. If I could go back to that time, that would be fantastic. I'd be okay with the world. I'd be okay with life.
Yeah. Well, and I remember even like, other than going to see these movies, and I don't know that we saw the second one in theaters, but I'm pretty sure we saw the first one. The actual cartoon movies, The Witch's Ghost and Cyber Chase, and the
zombies,
Zombie Island. Yep.
Yes.
Dude, come on. All of those such good movies. And the second one kind of gives me a Cyber Chase vibe with all of the monsters. And
I could see that.
I would love to see Cyber Chase if they ever did another Scooby-Doo live action movie with those same actors and actresses, Cyber Chase would be the way to go. To actually create a live action Cyber Chase would be awesome, especially with today's video game technology.
Oh yeah.
And imagine like that was made back in what, the early 2000s probably.
Early 2000s.
So, I mean, imagine the things they could do with it now. It could just be amazing.
I had the Cyber Chase video, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase video game.
Was that on Game Boy Advance?
No, PlayStation.
Oh, it was on PlayStation?
I had it on PlayStation.
Nice.
I loved, oh gosh, yes, those movies were so good.
Yeah.
I
knew I had a feeling that we would have the same.
I was worried. I would say I was worried, but I noticed that you didn't put it anywhere, and I was thinking it can't be like,
yeah.
No,
I feel like a lot of people love those movies, and I feel like more so even now than before, just because they're just good, and it's fun to go back and watch. And Seth Green actually comes into the second one.
Yeah,
and he plays the librarian, or like
I was gonna say the love interest of Velma, isn't it?
Yeah, not librarian. He's a museum guy. He's like a curator. And if you really think about it, Without a Paddle probably came out around that same time. So him and Matthew Lillard had done a movie together.
Yeah.
So, and only if Dax Shepard was in it, we would have had the whole cast.
Double dipping.
Yeah. How to make a lot of money in 1 year. Yeah. So yeah, nice. Those great top three. I like it.
I mean, I liked yours.
Yeah,
it was good. You either absolutely love them or you absolutely hate them. I feel like.
So let's talk about that.
let's get to the sad side of the attempts that were made to remake very good cartoons into poorly made live action movies. Gunner, I feel like you are just getting ready to, go on a Colton rant.
Okay.
Here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, Gunner, give me some of the movies. How do we want to do it the same way? Because I feel like we might have. I don't know.
Let me kind of explain. When Colton and I talked about this, and we were talking about how we were going to make a list, top 3 of that we love, and top 2 that we hate, and then one that we wanted to be live action, right? My number 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies. So I was gonna say, yeah, I couldn't come up with just 2. So let me list my number 2s for you. Number 1 is Aladdin. Absolutely hate Aladdin, the remake, the Will Smith remake as Genie, and it just doesn't feel like it is anything like the original. And it just is way out there. There's a lot of weird stuff going on that just, I don't know. I think they tried a little too hard, maybe.
Okay.
And they changed it up too much.
I'm not disagreeing with you on everything, but I will say this. Will Smith is the only reason I like that movie. Because when I went and saw the movie, I'm a huge Robin Williams fan. Love Robin Williams. And I was thinking, I'm only going to see this movie to watch Will Smith. And
see if he does good or bad.
Yeah. And I left that movie theater, and the only thing that I liked about that movie was Will Smith.
Okay.
The absolutely only thing that I liked, because it was different. It was still funny. It felt like a young Will Smith role. Yeah. And I felt like he did a really good job with it. The rest of that movie sucked. I could not stand it.
I think
it tried way too hard. The
biggest problem to me is how much they're trying to modernize all of that. Like, if you're going to make an adaptation, I understand the music and all that stuff. And like, you see it in the Great Gatsby, right? So I don't know.
You're preaching to the choir here, bro.
Yeah. So you see it in like the Great Gatsby, where they bring in modern music into that 20s style, right?
Yeah.
Aladdin let's just throw in a bunch of rap and all this stuff. And it was like, it just didn't work for me, because you think about how it's about all this stuff that's happening out in the desert, and all the, I guess, it's not Muslim. Is it Muslim, or is it Israeli?
I don't know. Saudi. It's
yeah,
a
Saudi
mostly
Arabia,
desert
Arabian,
country. It's a mostly.
yeah, Saudi Arabia. Sorry,
That's
anybody.
why that's why I think Saudi.
Yeah,
The Saudis.
yeah, Arabian Nights. Yeah, but still, like, there's just all this stuff that
Anywho,
just
yeah,
like took me away.
that in that time frame, that would have the modernization wouldn't have happened, because their culture is still not there yet.
Yeah.
To the rest of the world, let alone the United States or Great Britain or anywhere. I mean, they're still very, unfortunately, they're still very, women are better to be seen, not heard, second tier, not the same as a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, I don't know if they're making improvements, but I hope that they're making improvements. But
okay, I'm gonna go off.
You took a movie and they made it.
I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here real quick before I list my other couple.
Let's hear it.
Ms. Marvel came out last Wednesday. Yeah. And so far I'm really enjoying the show. Okay. And she is an Arabic superhero. Right?
Yeah, she's Muslim, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just the point you just brought up, that the females are lesser to the males. They actually talk about that in the show, which is kind of cool.
Really? So, that's awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah, this
that's
second
awesome.
Episode. So check you need to watch it. I actually really enjoy it so far.
I haven't had time. I haven't had time to get on it.
I think you might like it. I think you really
I think I will
like
too. I think I will too. So I've got to either watch that tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
So
TMNT, the new ones.
Oh yeah,
not great. Garfield. And then the one that I don't want you to ever even watch it. Drake Bell's Fairly Odd Parents. Live action Fairly Odd Parents. Absolutely terrible movies.
I don't think I remember that.
There's like a Christmas special, and there's another special, and then there's the original Fairly Odd Parents. Well, it's Timmy Turner at 23, and he's still got godparents, and they're trying to stay with him, and it is, don't recommend at all. And I have watched it because I was a Nickelodeon kid and a Disney kid, and like I watched all that stuff. So just saying.
So are you doing 2 or 3 of your least favorites, or 2 of
I do have a number one. I do have a number.
You do have a number one? Okay, I'll do that. You want my honorable mentions then, and I'll do a number one.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so my honorable mentions, they go the Super Mario Brothers.
the original, like the original from back in the day. Yeah.
Terrible. Talk about a movie that shouldn't have been made in its time.
Well, there's nothing, not even. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I don't like the new Lion King.
Okay. Reasonable.
It felt too CGI'd for me, and too hard. It tried too hard.
Okay.
But it's visually stunning.
No, yeah.
Can't disagree with there, but
have you seen all the stuff they did with the actual cameras, and like they used virtual reality to film that movie?
Really? No.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
So they used a VR camera and went in and filmed the movie with virtual reality.
Huh.
That's probably the coolest part of the movie. I didn't think it was great either. So I would go back and watch it again.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I would not.
Okay.
I cannot stand the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
Oh, me neither.
Any of them. Can't stand them at all.
I didn't even put them up there because I didn't even want to think about it.
I'm sorry then. Garfield makes this list. That's not high enough.
That's true. I don't want to go that high. Garfield makes your list too?
Garfield makes my list. But I will say this, the only reason that it's on this list is Zombieland. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That line in that movie when he is dying
Yep.
and he
What's
is
your
being
biggest
asked,
regret?
"What's your biggest regret?" is he is sitting there mulling over, and he says,
Probably Garfield.
"Probably Garfield." And I
Oh yeah.
lose it every time during that because
Yeah.
it is such a bad movie.
Oh, I definitely
So,
agree.
all right, that's my list.
I had something
Do
I was
you
gonna
think?
say. I don't remember
Oh,
what it was
okay,
now. That's okay. We'll move on. Do I think?
okay.
Do I think we
Do
have
you
the
think
same?
the same one? Are we gonna double down on it?
I think we will.
Okay. Yeah, I'll count down. I'll count down. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
But once again,
3.
disclaimer:
Whoop.
we do not know
Yes.
what our number one
We do
worst
not
movies are.
know.
So if this is the same, I'm not gonna say we called it twice in a row, but we're about to figure
Buy
out
a
together.
lottery ticket. Buy a
Yep.
lottery ticket. That's
Okay,
all I'm
here
gonna
we go.
say. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Avatar:
Avatar:
Last
The Last
Airbender.
Airbender.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, yes. And there's there's a main reason that this is my number one, my least favorite adaptation, and
Oh.
that is because I have watched the cartoon series Avatar: The Last Airbender probably 20 times in my life. I've watched Legend of Korra
Oh wow.
probably 10 times in my life, and I love both of those. And rewatching that, and I love M. Night Shyamalan. I'm not gonna lie, I love The Village, and some of the other like big blockbusters he's done have been decent movies. This was just not a good movie. Terrible. I'm just gonna say terrible.
They took I'm kind of I haven't rewatched it as much as you have, but I really, really, really enjoyed the TV show. Really, really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched that and I was so mad that
Yeah.
it was nothing like nothing. I was just frustrated with it. And you want to talk about being able to set up a a franchise. The Last Airbender, you could do that in.
Oh yeah.
That whole thing, you could set up a franchise with
You
it.
literally have books. You have books that you could go buy, and they could have
Yep.
had a movie for each book, and then split book 4 into 2, and you have a Twilight series. Speaking of Twilight,
Yeah.
Jasper's in this movie.
Yeah.
And his name is apparently Soka, not Sokka. Like, and Ong instead of Aang.
Didn't they have white people playing Asian characters?
Yes, they did. Yes. That was the big thing that was throw the hands up in the air because it was
I mean,
all
I'm telling you, you want to talk about literally crapping the bed. They put a ball on the tee and said, "Swing as hard as you can. This is an automatic home run." And they swung and missed by at least 10 feet.
yeah.
I don't even know if they took a bat up there with them.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I think Shang-Chi was a better Avatar: The Last Airbender than M. Night Shyamalan's adaptation.
I can see it.
It did, because they were literally airbending at one point. Like, come on.
Were they doing that, or were they just dancing with
I know, but
were they just interpretive dancing without the ribbons?
It was more realistic looking than that entire movie.
That movie is awful.
Yes.
Well, we're 2 for 2, brother.
We're not going to be 3 for 3. There's not a single chance in the entire world that we have the same wish
don't
it
think
would
so.
be adapted.
I don't think so either.
No. And you got me heated on Avatar, even though it was both of us. No, okay. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first because I think yours is going to be a lot more farther out there than mine.
Maybe.
So I'll go first. And Futurama.
Oh,
don't say that.
no, that's good. I
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
I didn't even think about that. That is a good one.
I love Futurama. I've got Futurama sticker on one of my guitars. It's that is one of my go-to animated shows that I have nothing to watch to like pass the time. It's either Futurama or Family Guy.
Now, would you want a live action series or a live action movie?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. I think they could go and do. I think they could do a series. I think they could do. They could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But I would just love to see that crew be brought to life some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. Is there a particular plot, overarching plot that you would want to see in a movie?
Well,
or is it just...
so when Fox killed it and it was brought back by Comedy Central, I think what they would do what I would do is I would take one of those they called them, I don't know if they were movies, but they were 45-minute episodes split into like 3 or 4. There was like 3 or 4 45-minute episodes, and that was the whole season. That was like the coming back season on Comedy Central. I would pick one of those quote unquote movies that they did and have that be the live action movie.
Yeah. That's a good one. And that makes a lot of sense because I feel like in the last couple episodes we've mentioned Futurama a lot, and it's just one of those things that keeps coming up. And I think there was one time I stopped at your house before we either went and saw a movie or we went and did something, and you had Futurama flipped on. And I sat there and watched it with you for a while. It's not one of those shows that I sit down and I could just watch. And maybe I should just pull it up and force myself to watch it.
You should. I agree.
Yeah. So mine is a little bit more out there than that.
Okay. I'm glad we saved it for last.
This is an older cartoon that was on Cartoon Network, and it's one of that I have not watched in a long time, but I would really consider actually going back and watching. And you know, Stranger Things kind of brought this.
I think I know this.
Brought this show back into my mind. You want to take a guess? You think you know it?
Is it Courage the Cowardly Dog?
No, it is Dog? Not.
Oh man,
it is Codename Kids Next Door.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And
I like that.
I think back to this show, and I probably watched it, and the kids in the show were probably the same age as me. They were 10 years old, and it was 5 kids that lived in a tree house. They had a secret base in their tree house. And now that I watch it as like an adult, or I go back and like think about it, they were just using their imaginations. Like that's all it was. Like as a kid, you're thinking, wow, these kids have, you know, all these cool gadgets, all this stuff. But I would love to see something similar to that, you know, just like a group of 5 kids that have high-tech gadgets in a big old tree house, and they fight off teenagers and all this adults and stuff. I don't know. It just would be.
So do you have a plot you would want it to go off of, or just any certain episodes that stick out to you?
You know, I haven't watched it in so long. I just think the plot as a whole, just as a concept, would be cool. But I also feel like it's one of those things that could be just completely jacked up if they did it and just completely cheesy and ruin it. But if they did it like sort of in a Sandlot kind of manner, I think it could be really good. So I don't know. When we were talking about it, that was the first show that really came to mind. And I was thinking of like Dexter's Laboratory and Ed, Edd n Eddy, and even like South Park, and like thinking like stuff like that. But I was like, Codename Kids Next Door would have like a really cool kind of spy detective plot to it almost, which you could twist and turn it however. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that, man. You got anything else you want to add or go off of?
No. Nickelodeon, somebody out there, that whoever owns the rights to Avatar: The Last Airbender, please listen to the Call Guys podcast, because I'm going to tell you right now that I want you to try again.
Please I agree.
Try again. And if you don't want to try doing live action again, bring us another season of a prequel to Aang. I would love to see Avatar Roku. Yeah, Avatar Roku, I'm pretty sure is his name. I'd love to see something prior, something before. And I'm talking directly to you, Nickelodeon, or whoever out there owns the rights to it now.
Somebody owns it.
I'm staring into your soul.
I could tell. I hope this message gets to them.
No, it won't. It won't. But speaking of, Colton, that was really fun to go. That was
fun.
And I'm glad we had the same number ones for both of those, because that was cool. And we don't talk about this beforehand.
I was gonna say we barely talk. We try not to talk on recording days, so that way it frees up the beginning part.
Yeah.
So that it almost reinsures our friendship.
Yeah.
Of where it is, because we're not paying carrots.
But I would love to hear how many people out there also match our ones and twos. When they start our list and they're like trying to think of what theirs is, I want to know how many people actually initially thought, number one being Scooby-Doo and number one bad being Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I feel like there might be more common than we think they are, but I don't know.
Well, I just think it's because The Last Airbender is critically one of the worst movies ever made, and Scooby-Doo is one of the best movies ever made.
Hey, The Last Airbender probably has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, don't say that. Don't you dare say that.
I'm going to Google that once we get off this tonight.
No.
And I'm going to send you a screenshot of 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It won't even be 9 or 8%. And if it's higher, they paid good money for it.
Yeah. Who'd they have to pay off to get a good rating? Yes.
That was feels fun. Like that was a short episode.
I don't think it was. I think it was longer than you think it was.
Oh, was it? Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? I guess we'll see. We'll figure it out.
We've been pumping out some long ones. So
we have. Maybe we need a short one.
Oh, here we are.
We got you out there in podcast land.
That's right.
All right. Everybody, I want to thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can get us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere you get your podcast podcasted. You can also find us on all your social media accounts. That's Facebook at facebook.com/thecallguyspod. Instagram, we are under at the Call Guys, and TikTok at the Call Guys podcast. Please send us your recommendations for the question of the pod, whatever you want us to talk about in a future episode, or just your top 5s, top 10s, anything. Tell us how we're doing. Send us an email, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. And also, everybody, we do have a merch store, and we had one of our first sales.
Yes. And let's go. Let's go.
I just want to thank Colton's aunt for buying a shirt.
I will use her God-given name. My family has a special name for her that I know she would kill me. She would drive here and end my life as it is. So I'm going to say, Aunt Pal, thank you so much for being the first.
Yeah, you were the first. And I really appreciate it. I really do. And I'm hoping we can get some more people out there to check out the merch store. So if you do want to check out the merch store, we do have a wonderful link, which is thecallguyspodcaststore.com, where you can go check out t-shirts, tank tops, leggings, crop tops, pint glasses, stickers, whatever. Just go check it out. And if you feel like supporting us and wearing it around, make sure if there's a guy walking at you with a Sharpie, run away, or don't run away, because he's going to sign it. And like I said before, maybe that shirt will be worth something someday.
You're not fast enough.
You're not fast enough.
That's a lie.
So yes. Yes. Also, while you're checking out the Call Guys podcast, make sure to go over and check out the Golden Image podcast. That's facebook.com/Golden Image Podcast. Also, the Murdnerds. That's facebook.com/Murdnerds. And finally, the United States of Paranormal podcast, facebook.com/the United States of Paranormal. Coming up here in July, which is coming very, 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 very quickly.
Yeah.
The second week of July will be the first episode of the Indiana Chiefs fans podcast. Like I mentioned before, we have, a schedule planned out for the first 20 episodes, and that'll actually get us into week 10 of the season.
Oh, snap.
So, I mean, expect some really cool episodes. I know we're talking about doing an episode called On the Road to KC. We all are season ticket holders, and we're going to be out there over a couple weekends in September, October, November. And yeah, we're going to do a podcast from the road and talk about the drive out, and
that'll be awesome
on the way. And yeah, you got some really cool ideas coming. So
that's actually a really, really good idea.
Yeah. Oh, and I have another great idea that I shared with the fellas this week, and I got very minimal response. We, for episode 30 of the Call Guys podcast, are going to do an episode called Beer 30. And it's going to be 5 of us. We're going to meet up at the Emperor's lair, the mothership, whatever you want to call it. We're going to get a bucket of beers, and we're going to wrap topics around the top of the beers. And whenever you finish your beer, you pull the next beer, and you got to start the next topic. And I think it would be a really cool idea, and it'd be a really fun one. So
that'll definitely be a fun episode.
I do think so. I expect 3 special guests for that episode. So
we're gonna need to find some folks.
Yeah, I don't know who we could get on for that.
I don't know either.
All right, Colton, you got anything you want to add?
No, man, that's awesome. You did a great job once again. Might be teaming up with the Murdnerds here soon for an episode.
Yeah,
so be on the lookout for them.
That might have to get pushed out a week. I think we've discussed that. The Emperor is making a trip out to freaking Dallas.
The Emperor just thinks he runs this show, but let me tell you what he is. He is just the guy in the back, just collecting royalties. He's doing nothing. Right. I think it's about time we overthrow the Emperor. What do you say, Skywalker? I think we can do it.
Yeah, just CN 1922 over here. I'm just wearing my Stormtrooper helmet and standing in the background. Probably hit my head on a door that's too low.
Probably won't be able to hit anything accurately.
Nope, never in my life. All right, everybody.
That's great.
We want to thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll see you next time.